How's it going there, folks? I'm Quinn of Snazzy Labs, and this is the video review of the Reid and Heath Acoustics MA-350 Aerophonic in-ear headphones. Now, I had not heard of Reid and Heath Acoustics prior to them contacting me about these headphones. They are a European-based company, and these headphones are going to retail you €29.95, and if you're here in the United States, that equates to about 40 bucks. Now, there's a lot of questions that I've had about these headphones and their availability in the United States. When you go to the Reid and Heath Acoustics website, which is rhacoustics.com, when you go to any of their products, it asks you to buy them from Amazon. When you click the buy them from Amazon link, it goes to the European store, amazon.co.uk, and when you try and access that here from the United States, it does work, but in the United States store, there are not these headphones are not there. So I don't know if you have to order from the European store. I don't know if you can order from the European store. All I know is that these were sent for review and they shipped them from England to my humble abode here in Salt Lake City, Utah, USA. I do want to talk about the headphones though, and they are some seriously powerful headphones with an amazing sound and superior build quality. Something that is so good, in fact, that I not only haven't seen it in sub $50 headphones, but I haven't seen it in sub $100 headphones. And these, that's right, have kicked the Klipsch S4i out of their #1 position for my sub $100 in-ear monitors. These are seriously amazing, and for the fact that you can get them for 40 bucks, it's astounding. And so I'd like to talk to you not only about the build quality, but also about the stellar sound that these headphones can put out. So 40 bucks, 30 euros is going to get you these headphones. These are constructed of solid aluminum, or as you European folks say, aluminium. They have the RHA logo emblazoned right there, black aluminum on some silver aluminum. It has this very, very nice horn shape to them, putting out some beautiful acoustics and just stellar looks. They're not super eye-catching, but they're also very, very pleasant, and they don't look bad at all. These tips stay on very well, so well in fact that they're actually kind of hard to get back on. But once you get them on, you'll have your silicone tip right here. These are the small that are on them right now. They do also provide a medium and a large, and they're also going to give you a very, very small carrying pouch. Nothing super amazing, but it's nice that it's included. Right here is where I had a little bit of worry, but I can tell you that this is very, very sturdy. I'm pulling on this from all angles, and it doesn't pull out at all. I've ripped these headphones out of my ear. I even accidentally slammed them into the door, but thanks to the very, very sturdy aluminum enclosure, as well as this very, very well-kept plug right here, you're not going to experience any issues. Many people think that aluminum headphones are quite heavy, and it's true, they are heavier, and these are a little bit more bulbous than most in-ear headphones, but they're super light and very comfortable. The only thing that's weird about them is when it's cold, or you haven't been using them and they are cold and it's a cold winter morning, sticking them into your ear is a little bit awkward for about 5 minutes, but once they warm up, that sounds so weird. I know it's going to sound weird, but it's true. They're a little bit weird for the first 5 minutes until you can kind of get them the same temperature as your ear. So yeah, they are kind of big headphones, but they fit in there nice and easy. I have really small ear canals and they still fit super, super well. Right here, you do have a braided nylon cord. This is excellent because it doesn't tangle. It doesn't do anything of the sort. It's just a really, really stellar cable that has been absolutely brilliant. One thing that I do experience often with nylon cables that I do experience with the RHA MA-350s, which I wish is not present, is cable rubbing. If you've ever run or if you've ever worked out and you notice there's a bit of rubbing sound against your shirt, this is present in the MA-350. It does go away when you're listening to music, but if you're listening to podcasts or the music is off, this can be very annoying. So that is something of a note. As we move down the cable here, we get to the yoke, which yet again is made of aluminum. Very, very nice, and yet again another RHA logo. There is this sliding cap, which slides very nicely. Again, made of aluminum, and that's pretty darn cool. As we head down to the end of the cable, which is about probably 3.5 feet long, you're going to find your gold-plated connection right here. Absolutely brilliant. The rings are black, and this will plug into any 3.5mm enabled device, which, yes, people always ask me, this will work with your iPod, your iPhone, your Zune, just about any other device on the market. Laptops, cell phones, you name it, you got it. You're good to go with this plug. You have the RHA logo right here, and it is recession proof. So if you do have a first generation iPhone or an iPhone case that doesn't play nicely with headphones, this will fit in just about everything, if not everything. I didn't have any problems with even some of my most recessed cases. This is what worries me most about the whole headphone, is this joint right here. Now, up near where the actual earpieces are, this seems like it would be a more worry, but this just seems way more stable than this. This really, really worries me. And I haven't had a problem yet, but I can imagine that I would have a problem, and I'll let you know if in the next coming months I do experience an issue with these. But for right now, it hasn't been a problem, but it just seems like this is kind of the weak point in the headphones, and that worries me that it's open to tearing and ripping. However, RHA does have top-notch customer support, so I'm sure if you did have an issue, they'd be more than willing to help you find a replacement. Now, as you can see, these kind of have a bell or a trumpet sound to them, which is kind of what they sound like. Now, I was amazed at these headphones because when I put them on at first, they were super bass recessed. There was no bass in these at all. And I'm not a guy who likes a lot of bass pumping through his skull, but there was seriously none at all. After about only 2 to 3 hours, that bass really came in pretty prominently, and it sat pretty well nicely against the whole spectrum of sound. The mids were very well balanced, super rich, super smooth, which is something you just don't hear in $40 earphones. Additionally, the trebles were always present. They were never piercing, they were never prominent, but I never felt like they were lacking. It really was a very flat EQ, which was amazing to listen to because, again, you don't hear this in $40 headphones, and it was really nice to see that in the RHA MA-350s. Last but certainly not least, they are punchy for those of you that are bass or electronica heads. It did work very nicely with stuff with a heavy low end like electronica, bass, pop, dubstep, all of that stuff, but it also really calmed and slowed down with prominent mids and nice trebles when you got into rock and you got into classical and a couple of other genres that are not so good usually with these type of headphones, and it really was good. The only genre that I listened to that I felt was maybe a little bit lacking was pop, and I don't know why it was, but I listened to several pop songs that were popular and it just didn't quite hit my marks. I feel like each end of the spectrum, from the very bass inducing electronica or dubstep to the very treble prominent classical and jazz, it just was very nice, but for pop they just didn't quite hit my marks. But really, I don't know, there's not a whole lot of headphones that do. It's kind of a difficult genre to work with. That being said, the RHA MA-350 are some amazing in-ear headphones. They're made out of solid aluminum. They have gold-plated connections. There's a 1.2 meter fabric or nylon cable, which is awesome. No tangling whatsoever. These are very sturdy. Seriously, the only thing that I disliked about these headphones was this joint right here. That was the only issue. And then, of course, cable rubbing, which once you start playing music is not an issue. But I could not have been more satisfied with these RHA MA-350s. When I did the conversion from euros to US dollars and saw that they were only $40, my mouth literally dropped because they are some of the best headphones that you can find under $100. And yes, once again, they did kick out the Klipsch S4i. Super flat EQ, very dynamically intact, an amazing build quality, which unfortunately is lacking in the Klipsch S4i's. And boy, I just can't speak any more highly of these headphones. They're seriously fantastic. You can check them out at rhacoustics.com. Again, for you US folk, I'm not sure how you can go about ordering them. I'm going to email them and ask them, and I'll leave them in the comments below once they respond. But to the rest of you, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Please do check out the RHA Acoustics. I'm going to be buying a couple pairs for Christmas presents, as these literally are absolutely brilliant. Thanks so much for watching. Once again, have a good Thanksgiving weekend, and as always, stay snazzy. See you later, folks.